now, for the millions in attendance and the billions watching at home, it's The Greatest Show, number 65.
Yeah. Number 65. It's an accomplishment.
It is. It is. I can't wait until 80, because by that time we will both be 40, and we can say that we're half of the show each.
Wow. Yeah.
That's deep.
It is. I don't know. I don't want to be 40. Ever.
You're going to be 40 before I am. You can't skip it, Bob.
I hear of people talking all the time, like when they're, like the whole, like, getting old sucks. And it's like, man, I'm only 40. And there's, like, 60-year-olds out there who are looking at me going, fuck you, kid. And because that's how I look at people. Like, I don't know about you guys, but in my job, like, every once in a while, there'll be, like, a 20-year-old kid who's like, oh, my gosh, I'm getting so old. And you want to punch them? And I think that if you did punch them, and you had to explain yourself, you're like, well, Your Honor, he said he was getting old. And the judge would be like, well, dismissed. I mean, like, right off the bat, he would understand that. But I'm sure that old people think the same thing when I say it.
Right. And it's possible. But you also have to remember, Bob, I don't know about you, but I'm immortal. So 40 is like, I'm like a newborn yet still.
It's not a drop in a bucket. Infinite is a whole bunch of lots. So it's like a drop in the ocean.
Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Well, you
we
were
got
happy, but you came out
on the show.
What's that?
We got the top of her head on the show.
There you go.
It's official.
For me.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Talk amongst
Hi.
Hi. So, I grilled burgers tonight for supper.
Woo!
Ooh, burgers.
I think
So
calzone.
veggie.
She made calzones from scratch.
Cool.
Yeah.
My burgers are also made from scratch. I do a 1 part ground turkey to 2 parts ground beef.
Wow.
Then I add in garlic and salt and pepper.
Awesome.
And they turn out pretty damn good.
That makes it lean then with the turkey, yes?
Yeah. Yeah, it helps with that. I really think it helps with the flavor though too. I think it gives it a better, more of a flavor. And but yeah, the turkey is like 97% lean, and then the burger part is 80-20 mix.
Wow.
I know I can see you, right?
You know.
I know that she uses the turkey meat when she does when she makes like the gyros. People call it something different everywhere they go, and so I have no idea like how people pronounce it. But
The thing with the ziti sauce.
If you're here, most people pronounce it gyro, because people here come from places where gyros have started.
right.
If you're in North Dakota or Indiana, you pronounce them gyros because there's a G in it, and that's how you pronounce it.
And we always call them gyros. We're from originally from Chicago, and there's like Greek food places everywhere in Chicago. That's just what we always called it.
Noted.
Yeah.
Noted.
That's funny.
You know what we haven't done in a while, Bob?
What's that?
Hung
Mad Libs?
out.
Oh. Yeah.
You know, I don't even have the Mad Libs on my phone anymore. That's how long it's been since we've done Mad Libs.
I missed the little penguin.
Let's see if I can find it again.
So what was in
yeah,
your-
I noticed you're drinking a root beer there. Did you know that I gave my last root beer to you last week? I'm now out.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Oh, well, this kind of speaks to the whole alcohol thing, but if you lived in Portland, in certain zip codes of Portland, they now have Amazon Prime Fresh.
No,
But
What's
what's
that?
the other one they don't qualify for?
fresh.
Okay. They have both Amazon Prime Fresh and Amazon Prime Now. All of these names are getting really ridiculous. So, okay, do you order a lot from Amazon?
Occasionally.
Okay, well,
Um,
I order from them a lot because I tend to be without a car quite a bit, so
the penguin. Animal. Penguin.
oh,
There he is.
Oh, that was weak. Okay, go ahead.
so I tend to be without a car a lot, and I don't want to buy things like 20 pounds of cat litter and then carry it home on public transportation, for example.
Right.
So I subscribe to Amazon Prime, which is $99 a year, and then you get free shipping, free 2-day shipping on everything that you order that's Prime eligible.
That's totally worth it.
Yeah, but plus with the Prime membership, you also get kind of like almost a Netflix sort of service. They have Amazon Prime Video.
Oh, wow.
Again, their names are just I mean, at least that one's different, but they have so many Amazon Prime benefits. Yeah, you get Amazon Prime Video, and apparently you can also get some sort of amount of cloud storage, like if you wanted to store gigabytes of files or photos or something. I haven't tried that yet. But so now the other day, this thing comes out on the news and online, and it says that now Portland is eligible for Amazon Prime Fresh, which means that you can order from Amazon, a grocery store called New Seasons, or 2 other businesses that I don't remember. You can order from them online, and your products that you ordered from them will be delivered in 2 hours or less for free,
Wow.
or within 1 hour for an additional $7.99. And so we don't qualify because we're too far out. We're in outer Portland, so we currently cannot order this Amazon Prime Fresh. And you know who's supposed to deliver this stuff to the houses?
DJ?
And
Wow. Well, how can it be in an hour if it's going through the post office? And the post office, like, do you guys have? I mean, from the post office point of view, do you guys have the time to be doing that?
There's a long, complicated story behind all that, and just let me tell you that most of it I can't say because I have a lot of insider knowledge. The short answer is
no.
The short answer is we are wholly unprepared for such an event to happen at this very moment.
Like, it comes out that we're eligible, or that Portland, some of it, they have a specific list of zip codes. And again, we're not in it, but they're like, yeah, so this started already, and the post office is supposed to deliver it. So you'd think that somebody would have been like, oh yeah, this is how it works.
No, see, the post office, though, they have, like, a very specific set of, I would guess, I don't know for sure, but I would think that you guys have, like, very specific routes made up, and, like, the packages go here, and, they're here by this time of day, they get loaded in the truck by this time of day, and I would think that it all is, and to all of a sudden say, you put it in an order, so...
Well, and here's the other thing. I'm inside of Portland. It's mostly city carriers, which means those are the guys that wear the uniforms. You see them. They're out walking everywhere, most of them. Those are the people that work in Portland. For like 95% of the postal employees you see on a daily basis are city carriers. So a regular city carrier, a full-time regular employee, bids on a route, and you can't use him on anything other than his route unless he signs up on something called the overtime list.
You're getting in really in depth, and I don't think you need to.
That's as far in depth as I'm going to. So none of the regular carriers can be used for this Amazon delivery thing. Why? Because that's not their route. So we have the assistants, which are the temporary, part-time employees, and those are the ones that are planned to be used. But we're not allowed to have more than a certain number per certain number of routes. So let's say, just grabbing a random number of 20 routes, you're only allowed to have 5. So those 5 not only have to cover absences of the regular carriers, but also now have to deliver groceries?
Yeah.
What?
It almost seems to me that it should work more, I don't know how to say this, other than more like the pizza delivery guy than it would a mail guy. To where, here's this thing, take it to that guy's house. So you jump in your car, you take it to that person's house, and you come back to get the next thing. They say this one goes to that guy's house. If you're talking about our delivery,
You would like what you're saying is, I think what I kind of agree with is you would think that Amazon would have to have their own employed delivery people.
exactly, a van in the back room where they, like a fleet of vans, and if the price to get that is enough, like let's say it costs every person $50 a month to use this thing, but you can get anything that you order in an hour, and your Amazon factory, your Amazon, like, huge, massive Amazon warehouse is right there in the location, then yeah, that $50 a month, whatever, would be paying for the guys and the gas to just, like, take this here, take it, basically pizza delivery mentality.
And yeah, I'm sure someone somewhere has this grand plan that they have. Wait, what is that? I got it.
Just
What's that?
SoCo, Southern Comfort. It's one of the little tiny little $1 bottles of Southern Comfort.
It looks so big, and then you pull it back, and it's in your 2 fingers.
I'm getting fucked up tonight.
That is so weird that you showed me that. I was at the liquor store the other day and buying peppermint schnapps because I thought we were going to have some sort of party or something like that, right? We were going.
Billy and Matt were coming over, but they're recovering alcoholics.
Right, okay, so I bought alcohol for some recovering alcoholics. So in the liquor store, which is the important part, I'm looking at the shelf and I come across Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort comes in flavors now.
What?
Right?
I
In
didn't
fact,
notice.
Lots of shit comes in flavors now.
I saw one. This might be the bottle of it right here. It totally is. It was a Smirnoff caramel flavored vodka.
You
And,
got churro or something.
Cinnamon churro for someone. But, and that's actually rum, the cinnamon churro, I'm pretty sure is rum.
Oh, maybe it is.
Anyway, so I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh my God, I haven't drank in a really long time. Because
other than root beer. I thought you got a root beer.
Well, I mean, before last week when you handed me my first one, it had been, I would say, it had been 6 months since I've had a serious alcohol thing going on.
Well, I mean, we really haven't done much since we've been here. We don't have anyone to go out or do anything with, and the people we know that don't drink. And other than that, you were in North Dakota, so maybe your going away party, but that was at a restaurant, so.
Yeah. Well, wait, did I have a going away party?
Yeah, people came out for your going away party, and you went to Buffalo Wild Wings. TJ was there.
Oh yeah, that's right, I did.
Yeah, you did.
You so did.
Yeah. Okay, so breaking the action here. It's time for Mad Libs.
Oh, well, then I'm going to continue my Prime story.
Oh, well, continue your Prime story, and then we'll do the Mad Libs.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I kind of interrupted that.
Okay, so we discussed our Amazon Prime Fresh that we're not eligible for. So then all of a sudden the other day, a few days after that thing gets announced, I get an email to me directly because I subscribe to Amazon Prime. Please stop acknowledging the fact that you're listening to me. Oh, God. So, I get this email that says, now in Portland, Amazon Prime now. And I'm like, what the hell is this? So,
the Prime was an hour, you said, right?
No, it was 1 or 2 hours. With your $99 yearly fee, you got free 2-hour shipping. If you wanted it there in 1 hour, you paid an additional $8.
And now they've got Prime Now.
Right?
Which is like the genie button. Like, poof, what do you need?
It's like a jukebox at a bar. You can buy the song, but now you can pay more to get the song right away. And if you pay even more, the song will interrupt the song that's currently playing and just go ahead and you'll get that song instead.
Okay, so go ahead, finish your story. Sorry I interrupted there. What's the Prime Now?
Amazon Prime Now is this app that I downloaded here, and you can order from Amazon or you can order from New Seasons, the grocery store.
Huh.
We're eligible for this in our zip code, and so to test it out the other night, I went out, and you have to order $30 of stuff minimum to get it delivered. So I ordered cat litter. I ordered what else did I order? Cat litter. Oh, granola bars.
Okay.
And what DJ is trying to... a Groot bobblehead.
I am Groot.
Because I was in desperate need of those 3 items in 2 hours.
Of course.
Right? Who wouldn't be?
I am Groot.
You are very Groot.
So I ordered that stuff, and it was kind of late at night, so it said the latest, or the delivery would have to be between 8 and 10. That, like, really fits on your shoulders well. If only the body and your hand wasn't there. So I ordered the stuff, and at about 9:30, a guy comes to the door with my stuff.
Wow.
So, I mean, I could do that for groceries too, as long as I had over $30 worth of stuff ordered. I can now order groceries and have it here that day.
That's not a bad thing at all for groceries. I mean, for a lot of that stuff, it's not bad. I think that the problem with the groceries is that the grocery stores would lose a lot of money on that. Most of the stuff that we get at the grocery stores isn't because that's stuff that you want to get at the grocery store, but you happen to walk past something that looks good. You're no longer walking past things. Wife just called bullshit on that. But if you're not walking past stuff, she's very much in the grocery store, I need this, and she goes and she gets it. Not me. I walk through there, and I get, like, things that just look good.
You're like me. You're walking down the aisle, and you look over and you go, holy shit, they make blue corn chips now? And you grab a bag, which either you eat or they sit in the thing. But either way, you didn't need them in the first place, and you'll never get them again. But you do that with all kinds of stuff.
You don't realize how much you need something like blue corn chips until you walk by a bag and you realize, I don't have any blue corn chips. And therefore I need them.
Or during Halloween, when they have the Boo Berry, Frankenberry, and the Count Chocula, and you see that there's Fruit Wolf or something like that, and the Tootie Wolfie, Frankenwolf. There's Yummy Mummy. There's 2 other flavors of that brand, and I'm like, what is going on? I want some of those, and then they're gone when I go there.
Yeah. Speaking of Halloween, I'm seeing people bitching because Halloween stuff is already on stores. I'm like, bitch, I already bought stuff. Yeah. I already got like a skeleton mask and skeleton hands because it's like, oh, good, it's for sale now, and I bought it.
I will be upset if people start putting up Christmas decorations before Halloween.
Oh my God, the weather will be nice enough here in November to put up Christmas decorations for Christmas.
Yes.
Wow.
All right. We have straight off of Amazon, so it's time to divert back to Mad Libs.
Yeah, that's mad. That's like crazy mad right there.
Okay. Oh, I get to see the penguin again. Doot, doot, doot. Damn it. New opening. I like the one where he runs in.
Yeah, he's not running in anymore. At least he's still there.
Yeah.
That's the comfort.
All right. So I chose. Oh.
The only grocery store that we can order from through Amazon is like a kind of almost like a Whole Foods. It's really expensive.
Oh.
So I think they'll be okay.
Okay, so
Right.
the subject looking good on Pluto. So we're gonna start with Tricia. I need a number.
17.
17. Bob, a city.
You know what? I'm gonna go with a Star Wars theme. So what was the Mos Eisley?
Mos Eisley. Oops, I spelled that wrong. There we go. I have to choose something alive, and I'm gonna go that stuff. Wait. I'm gonna go with a squid. I'm just gonna go simple. Tricia, adjective.
Harry?
Airy. Oops. I can't back. Bob, adjective.
Adjective. Steel? Would steel work? As in, like, the steel... No, maybe not, because that's probably more nounish than it is, like... I was going for the droid look. Should I use Harry? I'll go green.
Green. I have to come up with a plural noun, and I'm going to go with butt cheeks. Tricia, plural noun.
Guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs. Bob, adjective.
Adjective. Laura, give me a good adjective.
Red.
Red. Okay, go red. I said good adjective. She must not have heard that part.
I need to come up with a type of liquid.
Milk tea.
Milk tea it is. I was going to go with urine, but I'll go with milk tea instead.
Milk tea is my new obsession.
All right, I'm flipping the script. Bob, article of clothing.
Armor.
Armor.
Yeah.
Tricia, plural noun.
Picnic tables.
I have to come up with a color. And thanks to Laura, this will be the third color we have. I'm going to go with aquamarine.
Wow.
Bob, part of the face.
Tentacle.
Wow.
You didn't say face of what?
That's true.
Yeah, I'm totally going with the Star Wars theme still.
Part of the face.
Oh. Earlobe.
Earlobe.
Sounds very human.
And I have to come up with plural noun. and I'm going to use stains. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Ba-da-doom. On Pluto, the gravity is 17 times as strong as it is in Mos Eisley. If you are a young squid and you want to look good, here is what you should do. First, go to a beauty parlor and get a hairy haircut by a green Plutonian barber. Make sure he keeps your hair out of your butt cheeks so you can show off your guinea pigs. This is the red fashion on Pluto today. Then spray yourself with milk tea and put on an aluminum foil armor and high-heel picnic tables. Makeup is as important on Pluto as it is on Earth, so put on some bright aquamarine lipstick on your tentacle and use your nice earlobe shadow. If you follow this advice, you will get your picture on the cover of all their stains.
Wow.
I'm going to share our Mad Lib story.
You do that?
Apparently. I can do it on Facebook.
Not everybody will know how awesome ours was.
Yeah.
And we all know how to be fashionable on Pluto.
Mm-hmm.
True. All right. That was fun and exciting. It's been a while since we've done one of those.
Yeah.
We're 65 after all, so I mean, these things, you forget.
We do.
Okay, so I am a soccer fan, and since I don't have cable, I have to rely on either watching my soccer games on apps or going someplace to watch these games. So,
Or going to the actual soccer stadium.
or going to the actual soccer stadium. So today, two of my teams played. Today, Manchester United played this morning at like 8 a.m. our time, which means it was like 10 your time. And then the Portland Timbers, who are in Seattle today, played the Seattle Sounders at, what was it, 1?
Yeah, 1:30 or so.
Okay, so about 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock your time. So I get up and I miss.
4 o'clock Eastern.
Oh yeah, he's 3 hours. You're 3 hours ahead, Bob. Come on.
It's currently it's currently 9:35 here.
Yeah, it's only 6:30 here. So okay, so I don't get up early enough to watch the full game, but I had gotten a notice on my watch that someone had scored in the game, so I quickly turned it on. I'm like, you know what? It's just starting in the second half. I'm going good with that because there was no scoring in the first half. I'm all right with that. So my team scored. I start watching. Then Manchester United gets scored on twice and loses. So then I'm like, well, that sucked a bunch of ass.
But didn't you say they're both your team? No. You had one team in each of the games, right?
Right. Okay. That's the key there. Okay, so then I play Madden because I got Madden. I played a full regular speed, normal length game. I have learned that is tedious, so I'm going to start going with a shorter game next time. But I'm playing the game, and Trisha's waiting for a call that never came. No mention of who or what or why. But I come across, my watch says the Seattle Sounders Timbers game starts in 15 minutes. Well, I remember last week, or the week before, finding it on the ESPN app. So I pull it up, and I'll be damned, there it is. So we start watching the Timbers and the Sounders. Which we watched the Sounders score and score again, and then the Timbers score once, and then the game's over. So my team lost again, which sucks ass.
Mm-hmm.
So today has been a generally terrible day. I suggested watching the NASCAR race just so that I didn't have anybody to root for, even though I'm wearing a Danica Patrick t-shirt. Yeah, she, as you saw, she shook her head. I can technically watch it anyway on my phone because I have that power, but we like to do things together while sitting.
I have like the two of you going to ball games and you both have like the lumberjack thing. Are you also then a fan of soccer, or is it one of those things like? Because my wife seems to like nothing that I like. However, I did say something about Doctor Who. Is like, oh, Doctor Who's on, but you don't like that show. And she says, I actually do like it, just not as much as you do. And I like looked at her with that, what? Look, because it's like, I didn't realize that. But I think she even said the same thing about Supernatural at one point.
I'm not a fan of sports in general, ever. I'm just pretty much forced into watching it.
True. While you're talking with us, Bob, you should go to emeraldspectre.com and look at the About page.
Ooh.
You don't have to read anything. Just look that up and down. So I'm working on stuff today, and I had mentioned when we started, I kind of got distracted, and she's like, aren't we having the show? And I was like, oh, shit. So I quick got everything working. I was working on something else that's going to go on that site because, like I said, I'm working on things to make it fit into a certain aesthetic because I'm about to change the theme. His face just went red, so I know he's looking at it. Yeah, so
I'm working on.
I'm anxiously awaiting the next series of Doctor Who because there is a rumor floating around that Peter Capaldi will be regenerating at the end of the season.
Already?
Oh, that's pretty quick. Almost like that Christopher guy who played the first. Well, not first, but like, what is it?
Ninth.
Yeah.
What else I got?
We also got this when we got Madden. If I can get it out here. Woo!
Nice. And that is your favorite Doctor, right?
No.
It's my favorite Doctor.
My favorite Doctor is the guy with the really bad coat.
I'll go get him.
You don't know who that is, do you?
I know it. I don't know the. I don't know his name, or I don't know the name of the guy who played it, but I recognize the guy. He had like the. Isn't he the one who drove the car too? Then. He had, like,
No.
the coat.
His name is Colin Baker. He's this guy, and that's the terrible coat.
It's a very terrible coat, but it's what he's known for.
Yeah, and as you see, this is a signed picture by Colin Baker to me, to DJ. Stay cool.
Yeah.
Squirble.
Wait, even he thinks you're cool? The Doctor thinks you're cool.
Yes.
That's saying some shit right there.
Right? Yeah, go back.
Not
Is it emeraldspectre.com?
Emerald Spectre. EmeraldSpecter.com.
.com. Well, I did the first one, and it brought me to the Facebook one. It's like, well, this isn't right. Here we go.
About.
So you have a support me on Patreon.
Yes. Nobody's
That's
supporting me. I have to update that page anyway. There's a lot of stuff. When I set that up, I was doing different things, and now I'm doing more different things.
More different things. I want to do different things. You know, it actually, like, I don't like bitching about this. I really don't. But it hurts. Remember, I was out of work for like 6 months because I screwed up my ankles. My feet hurt a lot, and it sucks to be walking around. And I wish there was some way of me, like, sitting here at my computer and being awesome and making money doing it. Or having a gaming store somewhere where I can sit in there and be awesome and get money doing it. Instead, I have to go out there and work on busting myself up some more to get money so I can afford things that I don't need. That whole, you know, crazy loop thing. Because I'm going on 65.
Every year, Top Cow Productions, which is a comic book company, has a talent search. They are getting ready to start their talent search, and starting next month, it goes from September to, I think it's May is when they actually announce the 4 winners. So they'll choose 2 brand new writers, one who has applied before and failed at their contest, and one who's brand new. And they'll do the same thing with the artist, one who's attempted to get in but failed, and then one. Cause basically, they're trying to encourage the people. You know, you didn't win last year, but you might win this year, so will you put the fucking application in, please? So,
right.
So I'm going to apply for that. I'm hoping to win, because then I can start working in the comic book industry as a writer.
Can you do that from your own home, or do you have to go to the comic book shop, or the comic book, like, writing place and, like, How do
Two
they?
things are funny about the answer I'm about to say. First off, I can work from home as a writer. So the funny thing about that is I live in Portland, Oregon. Portland is the second largest location of comic book creators in the nation.
Wow. And it probably doesn't have like the DC and Marvel, but I'm probably looking. Top Cow is probably one of them. No,
Dark Horse,
Dark Horse. I was gonna say Dark Horse.
Boom Studios. I'm pretty sure that there's a whole list, but Top Cow. I don't know where Top Cow's out of, but if Top Cow was here, that'd be so awesome. But there's a like Dark Horse is the big one, and then there's a bunch of other ones where if you mention the name, I've heard of them. I don't know if you may have, but some of them are kind of off the wall.
Top Cow Comics.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's see where they're from.
Top Cow is based in Los Angeles, so I mean they're not terribly far from where I'm at, all things considered, but they're not here.
Yeah.
But
Somebody.
we've been out to where the where Dark Horse is multiple times. There's a big farm for Ingress out there.
You mentioned that. You know, one of my favorite Dark Horse ones is the Axe Cop.
I've seen. Well, next time we get out there, we haven't been out there in a really long time. I think that they may have like an issue or cover art of things hung up, and I'm pretty sure I've seen the Axe Cop one, but I'll double check for you. What I wanted to say is that also living in Portland, Brian Michael Bendis lives in Portland. He created Miles Morales, the Miles Morales Spider-Man, and works for Marvel mostly. He does have his own properties, but he works for all kinds of things, and he lives here in Portland, but Marvel Comics. So see, there's in this age, there's no reason I can't be a top comic book writer, living wherever the hell I feel like living.
That's true. Also, even if nobody else would do our comics, I think that there's also potential there of one or both of us or the two of us together saying, you know what, you want to write my comics? Fuck you very much. I'm writing my own. Hey, can we say fuck you very much on our show?
Yes, we can.
Fuck you very much. We're writing our own comics.
Well, and the great thing is I don't feel that my art is up to the level it needs to be to make the art for my own writing, but I'm looking for a very particular style, so I'm kind of picky. But if
South Park? Like South Park style? Like
no,
circles?
No. Yeah, I look like a fourth grader thinks that he is a top quality comic book. That's my type of art. Fourth grader who thinks he's bigger than he is. So but we can make a comic and just put it up on the internet, and we are in the comics industry.
That's true. There's a lot of comics that started as internet comics. Well, Axe Cop is one of them. That started as an online comic. Look at Oots. I don't know if you've ever looked at Oots. The Oots style is, it's really impressive, their artwork, because it's such simple artwork that you wonder, how the hell is this even possible that people would buy this? You know what, let me do a quick Google search here for Order of the Stick.
It's cool. Ivan and I would pass a sheet of paper back and forth together to each other, and we each had a little character we would draw, and we would have basically, for all intents and purposes, several panels created on this sheet of paper, and we would just draw one of our guys in each one, and each one would have a little word bubble, and we would just go back and forth, no planning. You know, I would draw my little guy, and then I'd put a little bubble in and say something stupid, and I'd hand it to him, and he'd say something even funnier back. So we were going back and forth like this for years. I had a whole book of the stuff. It got destroyed in the Navy when it got there was some water damage somewhere that it's gone. But I'm thinking we could do something like that, where we each have a character. We just kind of pass the ideas back and forth and just kind of go for it. Are you going to show us something other than your chest hair?
I am. I'm going to attempt to here. Nothing's changing on my phone here.
Oh.
Oh, it's changed. I just wasn't seeing it. So it's very, where is it here? Let me try it this way. The window that I'm seeing, so that's the Oots style drawing. It's stick figures, but it's like you can make out what everybody is. You can see the bard, the cleric, the wizard. It's very much.
Now that you show me Order of this, if you'd said Order of the Stick, I would have known exactly what you were talking about. But because you said Oots, I was very confused.
Yeah, that's what they refer to Order of the Stick as, which is a it's an acronym and porn sound.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and
yes,
cats.
or the stick. It's just stick figures, but they're done stick figure enough to where you can make out what everything is, and it's like I love the art, even though it's crazy over the top easy, and it's very warm in here. I just started sweating like crazy bad.
It's because I'm sexy. You just can't handle it.
That's probably it. No, that's not it. It's really warm in here. No offense, bro.
The last couple of years has finally been cooler than 90 and 100.
Yeah, it was cold enough to where I was happy to put on my winter hat for the Timbers game because it was cold.
And that's saying some shit here. Now, I'm seeing here, and this looks pretty cool, is that there are Oots characters done in different styles of art. Like it has the anime style, so it has each of the characters done anime style, and one of the main defining features is Banjo the Clown on the one guy's hand. But that one's done anime style. Then there's another one here. I'm seeing like 4 different like art styles with the Oots characters, not stick figure-y. Stick figure-y? Stick figure-y.
Do you remember in Puerto Rico when I created
Krusty.
No, not Krusty. God, I don't remember what his name is anymore. Something the Clown. Zippy the Clown.
Yes.
And I was given a notebook to fill with Zippy the Clown cartoons for somebody, and I got about halfway to 3/4 of the way through before I got out of the Navy. And I still had that book up until, God, I don't know when we got rid of it, but I don't remember what happened to it. But I had quite a few. I mean, I could do Zippy, and we could have like scary clown stories.
All clown stories are scary clown stories.
Sure.
Because they're clowns. I just got a message that a guy who's in NapGuard with me, his wife was there, but she didn't sign in. So I had to say, since I'm the one who puts all this stuff into the computer, what class did she want? Because I know she was there, but she didn't sign in. So she wants Scout. Scouts are awesome because they're able to use bows and throwies and just like straight out be awesome. They're the anti-assassins, so when an assassin says, I step in the shadows, and everybody has to pretend that they're not on the field anymore. But you're able to point to them and say, tracking, 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 and poof, now everybody can see him again.
I listened to Knights of the Night, the podcast, and they just started Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and I told the guy that does the editing, because we talk a lot, that he knows that I don't like the medieval fantasy, like D&D's genre is slightly different, so I can actually just say D&D genre. He knows I don't like the D&D genre, but what I am really trying to do is listen for the story that they're telling rather than the whole experience, because I don't like taking large breaks for them, because I couldn't stand their Numenera gameplay, but I was listening to the gameplay more than I was the story, so if they go back to Numenera, I'll probably check it out, but I'm really trying. Really.
I like the idea of Numenera. I find that totally amazing. In the beginning of the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Okay, cut your attention there. You were like, Guardians? And the beginning of that, when he's on that planet, and he's like, and it has like the old, that thing which showed like the very Grootish. You remember the scene I'm talking about when he's on that planet and it's raining and everything, and he's going for that orb in the first place? That right there is Numenera. imagine that as Earth a billion years from now. Like, whole civilizations have been here, built it up, and then were destroyed. And another one came in, built it up, and then went to another planet. That's Numenera. Was like that scene right there is like, imagine that being Earth. A long, long time from now.
A lot of what I have problems with, I have to admit, is because I've been stuck with the White Wolf system for so long that I think that I'm in a rut, like a really deep rut, and I need to get out of that rut.
Right.
Like, I like the Fate system, but most of the stories I want to tell would be completely ruined by using the Fate system. Because it's too fun.
I want to try Fate. I think that might be the one that we might have tried it once, but the fact that everybody's making up the story, is that the one where like everybody's kind of making up what's going along?
You sit down and you figure out what the big thing is and the important places you want the game master to include. And then if I'm like you're trapped in a room and the spiked walls are coming in and you're like, well, here's a fate point that says the spiked walls fall backwards and the spikes are just sticking out of the way, so we'll have a hard time crossing them, but we can now get out. And then I'm like,
right, because the dice said so. Because there's one of them, and I don't remember if it was Fate, but there's one of the games that he was playing where you're able to boost up your own things or boost up somebody else's stuff. So we're walking across that room, I could be like, hey, DJ, remember that one time that you did that thing with the spikes, and now you can do that? And you're like, oh yeah, and you add that as your skill, like somehow like dodge spikes or something as a skill, and now you can like, but as long as you can come up with it in story. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was Fate though.
No, I don't think that's Fate, but that sounds like an awesome system. You know, there is a story I could tell with the Fate system where it's not a hard set story like there's a beginning and an end, and you can really do anything between the 2 points, and it involves superpowers.
Oh, nice.
But I would need responsible people playing that would want to tell the story. So if you get into a situation, it's not, oh, you're so evil, you trapped us doing this, that, and the other thing. You're a dick. Now it's a competition. No, I'm not a competitor. I am helping you help me tell a story. We're telling a story together.
Gamma, Numenera, Shadowrun, Savage World. It's none of those. Fate's the closest I could see to that, and I don't think it was Fate.
I don't think it's Fate either. I'll ask Tom, who's the guy that does the editing for Knights of the Night. He might know.
But it was a weird kind of system concept where like everybody kind of did the story on their own here. I've got a few things for Fate. In fact, if you do like the Fate stuff at all, the Drive-Thru RPG offers the Fate books up for a pay-what-you-want price. So if you want to throw in $5 or $10, you can, but you don't have to. You can get them for free. Who's the robot? My friend got a Fate version of Atomic Robo. There's an Atomic Robo game that's a Fate system.
Okay.
Atomic Robo.
Trisha wanted to talk to you about your feet.
About what?
Your feet.
You say your feet hurt all the time now?
Yeah. Yeah, since I screwed them up.
Okay. So I have had plantar fasciitis problems with my feet for probably going on 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when all the muscles in my calf all the way down to my ankle and my tendons and everything were so tight that they were pulling on the tissue on the bottom of my foot so hard that it was ripping it.
Oh wow.
So yeah. so yeah, the tissue on the bottom of my foot inside, the muscles and stuff, was being shredded apart. And it hurt so bad. This was when we started walking a whole bunch to lose weight, back the few years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have been trying to find something to make my feet not hurt because I'm in constant agony, and I've done stretches and things that kind of help. But I was looking for this company. It's called Good Feet, and their website is goodfeet.com. They do have locations in Indiana. I don't know what's near you because there's Avon, Indianapolis, Greenwood, and Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne's the closest one, 45 minutes from here. And we go there like every few weeks. Good Feet?
I thought I heard you talk about Fort Wayne. It says in Fort Wayne that it's located next to Joann Fabrics in the Joann Plaza.
I gotta go there anyways.
Coldwater Road?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyways, yeah, they were showing commercials and stuff on TV all the time here because I don't know if they originated somewhere near Portland or what, but basically they're shoe inserts. And the problem that I've had is people have been trying to correct my foot problems with fancy shoes for years. So like when we go to Scheels, like a sporting goods store, and we're buying the fancy padded walking shoes with all the arch supports and all the stabilization crap.
Yeah.
That's what I was wearing when my feet went bad to begin with. So that wasn't the answer for me. So then my cousin, who's a chiropractor, they had a machine that would laser fit custom orthotics to your feet. And so I did that, and that didn't fix the problem. My feet still hurt constantly. And so then when I got to Portland, I went to this Good Feet place, and they're going to want to talk you into a lot, so you just have to stay strong. But basically, they're going to want to talk you into a whole system of different types of shoe inserts that you need to use for different times of the day. And then, of course, they're going to want to sell you shoes as well, which, are the shoes that don't work for me. Thank you, DJ, for your support. So what I found as far as shoes go for me, the simpler the better. So these are basically, like a Chuck Taylor Converse shoe, except they're Keen.
Mm-hmm.
Very flat, very boring, no support of any kind whatsoever. And this is the shoe insert that I got. It's
like sticking a Pringle in your shoe.
It's yeah. It's very hard plastic. I mean, I can't really bend it. It barely gives. But it's just the first of the three kinds. I think there's like an exerciser, there's a massager, and there's no, this is a strengthener. That's what this one is called. So it's just a rigid, hard piece of plastic. They're not custom molded. The arch support and stuff doesn't change based on who you are. They just change them based on your shoe size.
Yeah.
So you basically get the exact same thing that I would have here if it worked for you, except in a different size. And when you first wear them, they're the most painful thing on the planet. You
it's
almost
like
can't.
Your wallet in your shoe, probably. You go to the beach, you stick your wallet in your shoe because you have nowhere else to put it.
The ball of my foot across the front here, it hurt so bad every time my foot touched it. It was just agony. So you have to work your way into wearing these. You're supposed to do like a half hour and then an hour the next day. So on and so forth.
Yeah.
So I was wearing them off and on because my feet hurt so bad with them in or with them out. And then after a couple weeks of wearing them, my feet started cracking and grinding a lot when I walked, almost like things were moving inside of my feet.
Wow.
And then they just quit hurting. So basically what they'll tell you is these are meant to reshape your foot. And they take an impression of your foot before you start. They just basically have you walk over a piece of paper that's on an ink pad, so it shows where your foot is contacting. And you know, for most people, like, you're going to see a really hard contact on your heel and on the ball of your feet, you know, because there's a lot of pressure in those 2 points, and then the rest of the outline is kind of weak.
Right.
And they want the imprint of your foot. They want more of your foot to touch evenly to distribute the weight and the pressure and everything. So then after 30 days of wearing them, they take another impression of your feet. And I mean, I was surprised that mine were different. So it made a huge, gigantic difference for me, because while I might still have a little bit of plantar fasciitis problem, like once every couple months, I can do some stretches and basically get it to go away instantly versus living with pain for weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So,
and you know, that's when mine started too. Is when I started like exercising and stuff. I started like, you know, I had the what's that thing called? The treadmill, and I was like running and stuff on there, and it's like that's when it started. Like that's when it started really bad. It was hurting before that, but yeah, it's like, you know, you have to be active to get rid of the weight, but when you're active, you screw up your feet, which means you can't put weight on it, and it's like,
yeah, because DJ and I would go for a walk, and I would 5 minutes into our walk, I would say, you know, my feet are starting to hurt. How are you? And he's like, I'm fine. I don't feel a thing. And then it would just get worse and worse and worse. So I would constantly complain when we went out to walk because my feet would hurt so bad instantly. And then the same thing with the treadmill is I developed hip bursitis from walking on the treadmill, and I still deal with that. And I haven't walked on a treadmill in a year and a half. So
like walking barefooted, and walking barefooted is supposed to be like terrible for you. It's like, well, how can that be the case when we were born that way?
Right. I know, like, for me personally, if I don't wear shoes, if I'm home all day, if I don't have my shoes on, my feet will start to hurt if I'm standing for a long time or you know, walking around and doing stuff. So I'll put my shoes on at home. So for me, it works better for me personally to have my shoes on almost all the time. Like if I'm awake, my shoes should be on. So yeah, I would recommend, you know, since you have one in your area that you're going to be near anyways, to go in and
check that out.
Check it out. It's
Hi, viewer.
they're going to want to talk you into like $1,000 worth of stuff.
Which doesn't take a whole lot when you're looking at the last shoes that I got. I think were about $150, and the work shoes that I got were about $150. So $300 for 2 pairs of shoes.
Well, and that's what I was spending on shoes too. I was spending a little bit less because the women's shoes were a little cheaper, but like $110, $120 on a pair of shoes, and then DJ gets them for $130, $140, and he's fine.
I underpronate. My feet underpronate, which means they move out, so they naturally want to go out. So the only shoe that works for me is the Asics Nimbus. It corrects the problems, and I can walk in them for miles and miles and miles, and I can use them for 8 months until the sole gets so flat they're not doing me any good and my feet start hurting again. I know that or the backs of the shoes, despite my best efforts, keep rubbing away. I cannot, for the life of me, keep the backs of the shoes
Rubbing holes in.
Yeah, rubbing holes. So I'm even untying the shoes every single time, lifting the tongue out and lifting my foot out. You know, I'm trying to rub these things as little as possible, but the shoes. So this last time I got 2 pairs, and they're going to last me twice as long because I'm not using them at the same time. So I'm like, I'll like wear one pair of shoes a couple of days, and I'll switch, so I wear the other pair. So I've got
Yeah.
two pairs. It's that they're both Asics Nimbus. It's the only thing that works.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
for
that's
me,
people don't think about all that stuff.
Viewer, I'm not sure how long we're going to stay on, but we do have a question and answer box open if you want to ask some questions so that we can give you some answers, because I'm not sure if this is Kevin or not.
I wouldn't
No.
ask anything about advanced physics. Not that we wouldn't mind answering those questions. We don't know any of it, so I wouldn't bother.
Says you, I'll answer any question. You ask me anything, I'll answer it.
But
Whether or
we're
not the
not
answer
right.
is right is
That's
is
a good
the problem.
point. Yes, it might not be right or have anything to do with what you asked, but we'll definitely have an answer for you.
Yeah. And viewer, this episode is brought to you by Not Your Father's Root Beer, mainly because I'm drinking it.
Which is very good. I suggest that you try that. Unless you've already, if you've already tried it, you're probably sitting there going, "Oh yeah, this stuff's great."
This is. How long do you want to run, Bob? You want to go 2 hours? 3? 7? You want to go 7 hours tonight?
137 sounds good. No, I don't care. My wife's gonna need to go to bed soon, so
Well, when
I
she
don't know
starts
if that'll-
testing you, we'll wrap her up. Unless
That
she starts
probably-
testing.
yeah, that probably won't affect her too much.
Because then you'll be at like 10. Well, actually, it's 10 o'clock now, so it'll be like 10:30, 11 o'clock for you. And for us, we still got Big Brother to watch tonight,
Oh,
which starts at 8 our time. Because we're
Big
on
Brother.
West.
never heard of that. What's that?
it's on CBS.
It's a reality TV show. They lock some people in a house and they vote each other out one week after another.
Oh,
Sex and drama.
I would say it's probably the only reality show, well, other than we don't watch it anymore, the Gordon Ramsay one, Hell's Kitchen. But I would say it's one of the very few reality shows we actually watch.
It's they don't make things so different from season to season that it doesn't. Like we used to watch Survivor a lot, but they kept adding in things, and the game is so muddy now. You don't know what the hell is going on. And
Right.
there's so many extra rules, and they've got and this season we've got even more people. So there's like 704 people playing, and you're like, I don't know. There's 7 guys named Bob, and I just don't know what's going on anymore.
they're all probably pretty cool if all their names are Bob.
No, they're all the nerdy Bobs.
Oh, those guys. probably play D&D and read comic books.
Right?
We went to DJ wanted last weekend. He's like, or on his day off, he goes, I really want to go somewhere that makes Vietnamese food because I want these beef noodles that everyone at work keeps talking about.
I never got them.
So I went to Google Maps and I type in, Vietnamese food near where we live, and a couple locations pop up. And so we go to the one. It was called Bar 108, and so I guess I was a little worried at first. And
Because it was next to a pound?
because what?
Was it next to a pound?
No, it just
Oh.
seemed like a weird bar. I wasn't expecting Vietnamese food to come out of a bar.
Right.
So-
Never eat at a Vietnamese place next to a pound.
Okay.
Just
So
saying.
we go in there, and the guy that was working there, he was kind of on his own. He was a really, really nice guy, and I believe he said his family is from
Laos.
And so he cooked the food and everything, and basically we got this beef stir-fry dish, which was made with this house sauce, which was absolutely amazing. And then we got chicken. Oh, I did chicken, and then I had rice on the side and soy sauce, and it was like teriyaki chicken. Nothing too spectacular. I don't like teriyaki sauce, so it wasn't great. But the beef and the house sauce was amazing. And the guy that works there says that the house sauce is made by somebody. It's like a secret recipe, and so he doesn't even know how to make it. And
Oh, wow.
she comes in and she makes up batches for them, and then they use it. So we got to talking to him because he asked before the food came out, do you want chopsticks or do you want forks? Yeah, we're from North Dakota. We need forks.
Well,
Right.
I eat
Yeah,
with
you.
chopsticks all the time, and I was like, I'll stick with a fork because I'm hungry and I want to make sure that we're eating at like the same speed here. So
We should get you with chopsticks. Then we'll just give you one chopstick to eat with,
Oh,
so
yeah.
that we eat at the same speed.
That's what I did. When they gave them for a while there, they had some like crazy Oriental thing happening at McDonald's and they gave you chopsticks for chicken nuggets, and I was like, stab, eat, stab, eat. These are great.
wow,
So
we lost our viewer.
So then we started to talk to the guy a little bit, about, because he asked us how long we'd been here and everything, and we were talking to him, and he's basically lived here almost all of his life.
Mm-hmm.
You got a problem? You just like looking at yourself? So so then he started talking about all kinds of geeky stuff like comic books and anime, and he goes, at first I was a little worried about mentioning any of this stuff to you guys because I figured you would think that I was some weird geek, but obviously you're into the same things I am.
Awesome.
You went to Emerald Spectre earlier. Did you see what I was looking at, or what did I tell you to look at?
I don't know if I was seeing the same thing that you were referring to. I've got the site up.
About. There's a little link that says About. Up near the top. It says Home and then About.
Oh. Oh, it's a doctor.
Scroll down.
It's another doctor. And another one. And another one. And another one. These are all the doctors.
Even the War Doctor. I wanted to do something neat with my on my About page, so I'm telling a story about me wanting to tell stories, and I decided to break it up into eras, quote unquote, and use a doctor for each era. So that's what I did.
Now, you didn't actually make these pictures, right? You got those online or something?
I took the picture of the doctor, which is just the picture of the doctor, and I pasted it onto something. So I made the rounded rectangle with the doctor in it, but I didn't make the actual doctor.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to have to read this. I was reading your stuff for a while, but it was like, you post a lot, and I just don't have the time.
Well, here's the long and the short of this. We're going to keep doing this show, so that's going to be active content that happens. I'm going to start doing an audio podcast radio show / thingy, so there's going to be active content there. I am going to be writing, once the talent search is over for the Top Cow, I'm going to write comic book scripts for a single monthly comic book, and I'm going to post them on the website, and if somebody would like to draw them and wants to test something out, that would be the way to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be able to read them and go, hey, this is like a story without the pictures, and maybe I'll follow that. Maybe somebody outside will go, hey, this is a great idea. I'm going to go ahead and sign you up, and you can produce this full time, and that will work too. But so I'm going to do the comic book script things, and then I'm also going to start writing all these ideas floating around in my head, because if I don't write them down, they're just floating around in my head and not doing anyone any good. So there's going to be active content there. So you can follow whatever you want. There would be many options.
I would think that a very simple now I'm not even talking about Oots, because Oots is simple yet complex. But if you were to do like a drawing as far as like storyboard style, I mean, you've seen the storyboards and stuff like for movies and things where they like really quick jot something down, just something to give you a point of view of like what's happening. I think that probably work, especially if you get a fan base. Once you start getting people reading that stuff, there's gonna be art, and there's probably gonna be a lot of weird gay art in there also, but there's going to be art, and I don't mean just rainbows behind the people. I don't know if you've looked up fan art, but sexually speaking, they will stick together any two characters you come up with together just to see what happens.
You're talking about slash fiction.
Yeah, where it's just like you just look up fan art and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, how do I unsee that? You just ruined those two characters for me.
But I could do that. My first theory was I would write the first issue of this comic, so I would write the first script, and then I would genuinely attempt to draw it. So I would give it a 100% college try and post the whole thing. And then if I could produce that singly by myself month after month, I wouldn't post the script anymore. I would post the finished product, quote unquote, which may or may not have color. It might just be the sketched out or inked to that point thing, but it would be a comic book. Because the idea I told you about that I'm going to start with has a zombie, ninja, werewolf, vampire, pirate. I mean, it's just, and I've I've added more things. Like I told you, the gargoyle. There's a samurai. I've added an alien now. So there's all kinds of stuff going on in this, and it's very focused.
That's cool.
You focused with all of that going on doesn't even seem possible. Because you
So,
focused
hey,
isn't even possible.
I am very. What's that?
Yeah, I would like to say that the vampire I have created, I have taken an idea. We at one point said you had said two words together that have now turned that my original vampire idea into this vampire that I have now. Would you like to know what those two words were? Yeah.
I didn't speak the word sparkly at all. Just so you know that.
No, you didn't. But you said
What were
cryogenic vampire.
Oh, that was probably from my Gala World.
Yes. So now that is what my vampire is. He's a cryogenic vampire, and I'll explain things as I go with him. So he's not necessarily barred from sunlight, but there are different quirks. But I mean, that's what he does. Is he basically it's not your run of the mill. I'm going to drink a blood.
Does he actually absorb people's heat instead of their blood?
That's the angle I'm going with. Is that his nourishment, like he'll get so cold, like he'll get icy cold if he doesn't eat, and the colder he gets, the less he thinks rationally. So he's going to need to absorb heat from now on.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah, pictures from the event that never called me.
yeah. I guarantee they're going to go with the. Wow, she's big.
She is
There's
8 months pregnant, if not more.
There was a baby shower that I was supposed to call her today, and it was their thing that they were going to include her, and they just posted pictures on Facebook and never bothered to let her know. So, yeah.
You're gonna comment on it, right? Too bad I missed it or something like that.
Basically, what I feel at this point was, thanks for the invitation to get me to give you a gift.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally understand that. If somebody you don't like lets you down, so what? But it's your friends and your family when they let you down. That's when it's that's harsh, because it's like you wouldn't expect that from your friends and your family, and that's a real genuine letdown. It sucks.
Well, when I get a text message today that says you still want us to call, I'll call at 2:30 our time so that I know what time it is here. And I mean, she messaged me out of the blue, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'll be ready. I kind of gave up after an hour.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, like DJ said, Bismarck hasn't changed since we left.
There's only so much, after a while, you just stop, you're like, hey, let's go out and hang out. Sure, I'll wait for you to come to me, because that's exactly what it's going to take at this point to get me to come out with you.
Right. I have a very common thing as far as we've had New Year's parties, football parties, like for Super Bowl and like these things, where you say to somebody, hey, do you want to come over? My favorite answer that I get from friends and family, we might. Unless something else happens to come along that's better than going to your house. Oh, thanks for that. So then I'll get an invite from my brother saying, hey, we're doing this. Sorry, I can't make it. I might have somebody come over if they can't find something better. And I'm getting invites to do other things, and I have to tell everybody, sorry, I can't. I can't do anything but sit at home and wait because a good friend of mine might be coming over if they don't find something else to do. When I ask you if you want to do something, don't give me an I might. Say, yes, I'll fucking be there, or say, no, I don't want to, I've got other plans, fucking lie to me, tell the truth, I don't care, but it's either yes or no. This I might bullshit, stick that up your ass.
That's the other thing that you're mentioning there. Not only do I say yes or no, but when I say yes, I show up fucking early because I want if you say we're going to have a party at 7, the party starts at motherfucking 7 o'clock. It does not start at 8, it does not start at 9, it does not start at 10. It starts at motherfucking 7.
Yep.
And in the Navy, I figured out everybody's fucking ploy, and finally I started making people look like idiots because they go, oh, I am throwing this huge party. Starts at 5. It actually started at 7, but I told everybody it started at 5. You know when they showed up? 7. And they're like, hey, am I the first one here? Yeah. Started at 7. You said 5. Right. And look what time it is.
Yeah. Let's talk a moment about my balls. So, I've got these things that I make. They're Oreo cookies. You take these Oreo cookies and you put them in the food processor and you make them to dust. And then you put in a cream cheese and then it makes it into this like doughy thing where you then put them into little balls and then you dip those balls into the melted chocolate then and you like freeze them and you end up with these amazingly awesome chocolate balls with the squishy, gooey awesomeness inside. It's like awesome with awesome wrapped around it and a candy shell. They're amazing, and everybody loves my balls. Now, the person that I learned to make those from, her mother just posted something on Facebook. They're pumpkin cream cheesecake balls. So I'm going to have to try them. Yeah, it's the recipe and everything. Now, the other ones that I make is a cheesy one where you take Parmesan cheese and basil and you make, you have to use a large bowl because it takes a lot of cheese. So you take the one of those cans of biscuits and you open that up and you take each one and you cut it in half and you put a block of mozzarella or cheddar or whatever inside of that. You wrap it into a ball. Then you dip that into a garlic butter and then you roll that into the Parmesan basil mixture and you make those. So like I've got like this arsenal of balls that everybody loves. You know? Huh? That's right. What's that?
Yesterday I made turkey meatballs.
Ooh.
And
yeah.
I made I kind of looked online for some ideas and then I came up with a recipe. But it was turkey and I put some Parmesan cheese in them as well and garlic and onions and some seasoning, and then you brown them in a frying pan to brown the outsides a little bit to firm them up, and then you bake them.
Nice. That's another recipe. You have to be very careful how you word that when you're doing a Google search, because if you just put turkey balls, you have no idea what you're going to get. Smartly.
Well, luckily for me, when I search for a recipe, I use Pinterest, and Pinterest is relatively safe for what you actually want to see.
Bob, we found the most amazing fucking shit at the grocery store.
At Trader Joe's initially.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the original one, and this is what it is right here. It is speculoos cookie butter.
Cookie butter.
Now, if you're wondering what the fuck cookie butter is, it's cookies ground up and made into a cookie butter. It's literally a cookie that you can spread.
You
Now,
can make
just eat
pie.
Well, and
Wow.
she found the cookies that these are made out of. And then we put that in between the cookies. That's too much. But but she also found this, which is the Bishop, like the airplane cookies made into a cookie spread. Cookie butter is fucking awesome, Bob.
The only way I used to make that all the time. I would put the whole cookie in my mouth, and then you chew it, and what you have left is cookie butter.
Yeah, but what you do is you take.
But I don't want you to share that with me.
Oh no,
butter,
I make it and then I eat it right away. I don't share it with anybody.
we take the cheap butter cookies you buy in tins that are like way big, and you're like, when you buy them, you're like, yeah, and then you eat like 4 of them, you're like, ah, so fucking boring. I can't
Yeah,
stand
I
it.
love them.
Anyway, you
They're
take
my
those
favorite cookie.
and you spread the cookie butter on them. Oh my god. Oh my
Wow. I see. I always use I'd get one of those the pre-made things of frosting that are like crazy sugary, and I would just dip those cookies into there. I would use it I would just dip the frosting.
I don't think that these are like crazy sugary. I think this is some. There's 5 grams of sugar in the speculoos, 11 in the Bishop. So, but it's crazy good, Bob. And what you do is you spread it on a cookie of your choice and you eat it, and it is awesome.
Huh.
Most of the time, the cookie butter is thicker than the cookie.
Wow.
I spread the cookie butter pretty thick anyway because it's awesome.
Dude, do you remember the awesome, amazing cookies they sold in the mall in Mississippi? They were these massive cookies that were really thick and soft, and then they put a frosting in between, and then another cookie on top. And it was like an entire store that sold these frosting cookie sandwich things.
I want to say yes because that sounds familiar, and it's probably the only mall that you and I hung out in, so I think so.
It was that one, yeah. Yeah. They were really good.
It's the one across the street from the Silver Screen, which was the single most awesome theater in the world.
It was. I still tell people about that. If you meet me, you're going to hear about the Silver Screen. And going in there with Subway subs in our pockets and playing Magic on the table before the movie starts and being able to pull up another seat so you have a seat to put your seat on. No, a seat to put your feet on while watching the movie all laid back and chilling.
They had the cheap, Tombstone pizzas there. I like the cheap Tombstone pizzas because they taste good, so I liked the pizzas there. But, like bar pizzas, they're the really cheap stuff. But
Well, at least they were in North Dakota. We don't know what a pizza is like at a bar here. It's probably gourmet, vegan, gluten-free, earth-friendly, recycled, something.
recycled.
It probably should have on the menu just like what you just said it, too. That whole thing there is on the freaking menu. And people are like, oh my gosh, they have vegan, vegetarian, just that whole thing that you just said. My favorite.
Yeah, that's what you're going to find here. We have been to, we were at one older theater that served wine and beer and ice cream, and they actually had popcorn. In North Dakota, the theaters had popcorn and soda and...
The overpriced candy.
Yeah, candy. And so
there are so many options at the theater.
To come here to see all of the different food. The last time we went to one of the bigger theaters in a mall, I got Starbucks.
Wow.
I mean, they make Starbucks drinks there.
And not in the mall and then bringing it into the... No, she got it at the theater concession stand.
Why not? That's a brilliant idea. I wonder if you can, approach a movie theater and say, hey, you know this big area over here that you're not using? How about we put a pizza place right there? How well would that sell?
They also have Ben and Jerry's little pints of ice cream you could buy to take into the theater to eat. The last time we went in, I think we both got hot dogs.
Yeah.
Because we were hungry and I wanted something not too substantial because I wanted to eat a bunch of popcorn too. Because I don't understand why, but if I go to the movie, I need the goddamn popcorn. I need it because the movie butter is all.
Right. Yeah, you have to have.
We found it was like it was after we left, but if we would have walked around one counter, we would have.
I hit him through the hole in the side, and he's now outside.
Oh, I thought he was outside to begin with.
No.
Okay, anyway, they actually have the pumps of butter that you can add to your own popcorn.
Wasn't that the cheese?
Cheese? No, there were pumps. There were.
The cheese had that too. A lot of the places now they had that where they had all the different flavored cheese. You can have the cheese popcorn, the ranch popcorn, the chocolate powder. I mean, you had all these powders, but now you can buy the tiny little container for like $4 or something, and it's like that's like they used to give it for free, and now they're like, why give it to free when we can charge a crazy amount for them?
I think that in Bismarck they had it for free, but here that I've seen.
Yeah.
They changed it here like over the last couple of years. So what I started doing is, well, first of all, you never bring that back. You buy it once, you use it, you take it home with you, and then that's it. I haven't bring them back. Where I'll just like take it out of my pot while I'm sitting there and watching the movie. It's like, okay, the cheesy's going away now. You know, let's stick it back in my pocket, and it's cheesy again. So that's advice to anybody listening to this. Save your cheese. Bring it with time after time. That shit's like motherfucking gold. Except edible. Liquid gold.
Oh, powdered gold. Yeah. I wanted to go see the Fantastic Four movie, but I told you about that. Don't even pirate it because that's how bad it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've heard one decent review, but everybody else is just lambasting it. It's just not. Apparently, it's not.
Yeah.
Worth it. No.
We haven't seen it yet. It's like it just didn't seem. There was nothing about it that I think the original one is still too fresh in my mind. Like they did that so well that. Why would they redo it? Why would they recast it? I don't know.
Because they don't know how to. They don't want to pay the people that were in the first one because they're too expensive. So they wanted to quote unquote reboot it, which means they want to recast it and retell the origin and what the people I think it's Fox. What Fox needs to understand is that we have fucked this thing up so bad. The only way to repair it is to give it back to Marvel, where hopefully they can repair it because. There's nothing we can do anymore. It's damaged.
But then again, I was a fan of the Green Lantern movie, and I know a lot of people weren't. A lot of people hated it, but it went comic pretty well.
I thought it was okay considering Ryan Reynolds was in it. I thought there should have been more space. Apparently, the criticisms that most people have is that there should have been more Earth. No. You want to show me as much space as possible.
I mean, he did have a large sector that's supposed to be his,
right?
Like, area.
In the comics, Earth has four Green Lanterns. It has Hal Jordan, five Green Lanterns. It has Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner, Simon Baz, John Stewart, and Guy Gardner. They all have different sectors of space, yet they all hang out on Earth. They're not in their own goddamn sectors. Only Hal Jordan's in his sector. What's going on in these other sectors that you don't need to be there? Is it just dead space, empty nothing?
Yeah. I think that's like 5 cops who all hang out at the same bar, even though, you know, like I work downtown, this guy works over here, this guy works over here, but this is our bar. So they all kind of hang out at the Earth bar.
Earth bar?
Yeah.
We used to serve vegetarian pizza.
They refer to it as Bob's Place.
Hey, remember our idea to have a pizza place and name it Mike's Garage or something like that? Auto parts store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toys.
So I used to say, every once in a while I'd go, Captain's log, stardate today. Well, I was doing that for quite a while, and then someone unnameable one day goes, stop saying today, and I'm like, why? Just being a smartass. She goes, because when you listen to the Captain's log, all you hear is today, 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 today. You never know when anything happened. That is kind of stupid.
Right.
So.
I was thinking about doing that at one point, doing a not anything for the people, for viewers or anything, but a thing for myself, a daily what's going on today, based on what they did in Avatar, where every day he would get on and say, this is today. Just to see how I look different every day, how I look at things differently every day. Just doing a Stardate thing, but not a Stardate thing, because I'm on Earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Our viewer keeps in and out.
Wow.
The viewer just left. The viewer has been talking now. Now the viewer's back.
Hi, viewer.
No
we're going to talk about
for us to answer.
Ooh, yeah. Give us some questions. These pumpkin things I was looking at here, they didn't actually make them from scratch from the way it looks, but they used a Pillsbury Perfectly Pumpkin Cake Mix in a jar of cream cheese frosting. So it looks like it's nothing nothing like my other balls that everybody loves so much. But these ones here are all purchased, but they still look good. I'll still do them.
Though I'm not a big fan of chocolate, Bob, I would still taste your balls.
Oh yeah, and everybody loves them. I said at AmpGuard the other day how next time we do this competition where we can put in anything that we want, I said next time I'm entering my balls. I said everybody loves them, and the one chick there says, well, I want to see your balls, and everybody commented that they love my balls.
Because your balls are apparently awesome.
Oh yeah, the chocolate and the cheesy.
I think that someone in Minot at the craft fairs used to make something very similar to what you're talking about, but I think they used either white chocolate or almond bark on the outside instead of chocolate.
Almond bark is what we used. Yeah, it was the chocolate bark stuff, which is
Yeah, well, theirs were white. So.
Huh?
Theirs were white. I mean, they weren't brown chocolate.
Right. I've used white chocolate. White chocolate is a pain in the ass to melt. It doesn't melt like regular chocolate does. The almond bark white chocolate melts a lot better. But if you take white chocolate chips, you try to melt them, you're gonna have a bad day. Okay. So the other thing that we tried is
add coconut oil to them. You add coconut oil.
Oh, she didn't go with coconut. She went with a different oil though. Just regular vegetable oil, I think. But we should try the coconut. Yeah.
Well, you use coconut oil because it sets up solid when it's cold.
Oh. Good thinking. Wife? She just suggested using coconut oil to help the white chocolate melt because it sets up hard when it's cold. She doesn't like white chocolate. Now, you know what we did try that was awesome? They looked like the white chocolate ones, but they were marshmallow.
We used vegetable oil last time.
So they were the chocolate balls with marshmallow on the outside. They were yummy. We're about 20 minutes away from the 2-hour mark.
Yes, we are.
Wow.
When was the last time we went 2 hours?
I don't know. I think it was our 2-hour special.
Well, I was going to say something rude like when I was 16. I mean, but I don't know if that's true either. Yeah. you bored with me, Bob? Are you bored?
No, I'm enjoying myself. Did you hear the McWhopper that they were trying to make?
Oh, right. The Burger King and McDonald's were supposed to collaborate, but McDonald's wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
That's all I know
which is
about
like,
it.
Burger King offers the hand, saying, "Hey, truce." McDonald's like, "Get that the fuck out of here." Supposedly, they say that they want to do something bigger, that they want it to be something that it's. Supposedly, McDonald's says, "Oh, I think that we should have a truce, but it should be something bigger in our idea." You know
I was
what I mean?
going to
It's
say
like-
what McDonald's means is they want it to be their idea.
Exactly.
Which is funny. I as much as I hate onions on everything, McDonald's is, I think, so much out of Burger King's league. Like, Burger King is just like hanging on by a thread. Like, we were relevant once, but we're hanging on.
Yeah. But you know, one of the main things I don't like about Burger King is something that a lot of people do like about Burger King. To me, the buns always had kind of a staleness, feel, taste, texture to them. But they grill the buns to give them almost like a very mild toasted thing, which to me tastes like stale bread. It just has that like little bit of hardness to it that I'd rather not have. But yeah, they do that on purpose because apparently people like that.
Yeah, we do.
To me, it always, well, at least the ones in Bismarck always seem soggy. The Burger King always just seems soggy in general, like everything was kind of thrown in the bag and then squished down and and then handed to you.
That's another thing. Going through a drive-through, McDonald's does it right. They pack things to where there's a little bit of room. They can fold their bag their pretty little way, and then they give you the food. But Burger King, it's like, we don't have quite the right size of bags, and you ordered everything for one car, so we're going to fit it all in this bag, okay?
Stuff is sticking out the top.
McDonald's, you can seriously reach down and grab whatever burger that you want. In Burger King, you have to take out the top one, and then the next one, and then the next one. Yeah.
And
for a
God
while,
forbid you ordered fries. The fries are on top.
Yeah. The fries, it's a good thing that they put the fries on top. I'm sure they do it for a reason, but as the driver of the usual vehicle that goes through there, I know the real reason for the fries being on top. Because you munch the motherfuckers. I mean, they're right there. You smell them, you see them, and driving home and not eating the fries, that's not an option. They're right fucking there.
I believe Ivy said it correctly. He says he never, ever goes through a drive-thru and makes it home with the fries because he is eating them. He wants them as hot as possible. They're as fresh as possible. And by the time you get home, they're cold and soggy. So he has to eat them on the way home or before he gets to wherever he's going. So the burger can wait, but the fries won't make it there. And I'm almost that way. Someone else has the bag and I can't get to it.
There's very seldom that we go through a drive-thru at this point. I couldn't even tell you. It was probably one of the late nights that we were out ingressing or something, and I was hungry and we wanted to get food. But we very rarely at this point go other than Sonic.
I have to tell you, Bob, about Jack in the Box's late night burger.
Oh God! You have Jack in the Box?
I don't. There's none around here. I'm not sure like where the closest one is.
Okay, so there's a sourdough bun, just a round sourdough bun. They've got cheese, and then the burger, and then whatever condiments they normally put on the burger, and then they've got another cheese and bacon, and then another sourdough bun, and then a cheese sauce / cheese melted cheese stuff, and then another sourdough bun, and they call it the grilled sourdough burger, the grilled sourdough cheeseburger. It is so good.
But you
Sounds
can
good.
only get it after 9 p.m.
Yeah, it has to be after a specific point in the night, and if you want to order the meal, it comes with like 2 tacos and a shit ton of fries and all kinds of weird shit.
Or fries and onion rings? Comes with 2 different.
Yeah, there's so much food that when I saw the meal, I'm like, God, I hope I can just get the sandwich because I don't think I can eat all of that. And I can't. I can only eat the sandwich.
The thing that surprised me so much is to hear that a lot of places have secret menus that they don't put out. Starbucks is one of them. Starbucks has a huge menu of things that they're not on the menu, but you could totally order them. There's a secret menu. But also, there's a lot of food places like Taco Bell. If you tell them you want something that's not on the menu, they'll make it for you. But yeah, a lot of secret menus that it's pretty cool.
The Jack in the Box burger, it's not a secret menu. It's on the menu. It's like taunting you because you can't order it before a certain time. So you're like, I want that, but it's only 8 o'clock, and I'm not waiting here for an hour to eat because I'm hungry now.
Right. There is. Let me pull up the site here. I think it was.
I was just going to ask if you have Hardee's or Carl's Jr.
Yeah, Hardee's.
Hardee's.
Because Carl's Jr. is so much better than Hardee's.
Huh.
I miss my ham and cheese sandwich.
Fuck your ham and cheese sandwich. I get a big Carl. There's no such thing as a big Hardee's.
Okay. Now, do you guys have an Arby's?
Yeah?
Did you know that there's an Arby's $10 Meat Mountain sandwich? Not on the menu, but it's a $10 Meat Mountain sandwich that you can get from them. New on secret Arby's menu, $10 Meat Mountain sandwich. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
From what I understand, it's huge, but it's not on the menu, and it costs $10.
Totally want to go to Arby's now to order one.
All right, let me turn this camera around here because there's a picture. So I can't see. I don't know how. Oh, there it is. Yeah, but that's on the secret menu here. $10.
Is it multiple kinds of meat?
Oh yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit of everything.
Explain what's on it, because I'm now curious.
Well, let's see if it mentions it here. Less is not more for fast food restaurants Arby's, which unleashed a new beast in its Meat Mountain sandwich recently. The monstrosity wasn't supposed to be a new menu item, but when customers started questioning it, Arby's had no choice but to grant their high-calorie wish. Includes 2 chicken tenders, 1.5 ounces of roasted turkey, ham, corned beef, brisket, Angus steak, and roast beef, 1 slice of Swiss cheese, 1 slice of cheddar cheese, and 3 half strips of bacon, all on a single bun. No information on the nutritional facts for the Mile High creation has been provided.
Yeah,
but when you order something like that, who gives a fuck about nutritional facts, you know?
You're doing that to have a heart attack.
Exactly. Yeah. I haven't made it over there to try that yet, but it's on my to-do list.
But other than the bacon, there's not a whole lot of cheese on there. And it doesn't talk about being slathered in mayo or cheese sauce or anything. So if it's mostly meat, I mean, at least, granted, it's still a humongous amount of it, but at least it's a little bit more of a quality food that gives you protein to combat all those calories.
Right. Yeah. That's a good point. It doesn't have a whole lot of cheese, and I'm not seeing any sort of a sauce thing in the description at all. At least this is just on a news highlight menu here. But yeah,
When is the story written? Like, when is it dated?
Yeah.
This was August of 2014, but I do believe they were talking about it on the radio not that long ago, so it might be more. It's still a thing, I guess.
Ooh, a $10 Meat Mountain. That just sounds great. They're at the burger place, the local burger place in Bismarck called Rez's Bitch. He has a quad burger challenge. Like basically you're eating a pound of meat in a burger, and I kept telling him, how many people have, if you accomplish eating this, you basically get your picture up on Facebook. I was the fourth person to do it. It was a lot of
Wait,
goddamn.
you did it?
I did it.
I don't know why I'm surprised.
I was so sick after eating it because it was so much food. But I kept saying, you need to, you know what, slap another patty on there, and you say that anybody that can finish it gets it for free, or give them a T-shirt, or give them something, Rez. You need to push the bejesus out of this. He's like, no. Well, so yeah, every once in a while somebody moseys in, has the quad challenge, and gets their picture up on Facebook. So yeah,
here's what you need to do. No matter how much it fills you up, have her next to you. All right. No matter how much it fills you up, walk back up to the counter and be like, "That was delicious. Can I have another?" And then her job is to grab you by the arm and say, "No, let's go," and pull you out of there. Just so they're like, "What the fuck's that guy? How many stomachs does he have?" Like that's your job, is to stop him from getting it, because you don't really want it, because that's a lot of food. But it's kind of, I was getting a blood test at one point, and the girl screwed up. She tried like 3 times on the one arm, 3 times on the other arm, and finally I was like, can I try? I didn't want to try, but I wanted to fuck with her because she was pissing me off. She kept stabbing me with a frickin' needle. And she's like, sir, we're not allowed to do that. I'm like, at that point she realized how frustrated I was getting. But yeah, I would have never said that if I'd known for a second she was going, if she was going to let me try it, I wouldn't have said that. But knowing that she wasn't going to let me try, that's why you can say that. So the same thing there. It's like, yeah, that was delicious. Can I have another? And then you have to have her like, no, you can't. It's like going to mom's house and asking to help with the dishes. The only reason you offer something like that is because you know she's going to say no.
Well, in the burger, admittedly, I can't open my mouth large enough to get it in. Like it's a stack. So I cut it in half. Basically, I took the top 2 and stuck it on the top bun and left the bottom 2 on the bottom bun, and I ate that as is. And Reza's pointing at that going, that's cheating. And I'm like, you just said I had to eat it, and I'm eating it.
Yeah. I will pick that motherfucker to pieces. Oh, yeah. Give me a slice of chicken.
The funny thing is, he's like, do you want some fries with that? And I'm like, do I want some fries with this gigantic fucking burger? No! Room for that shit.
Oh.
Crazy. Totally crazy. Okay. We are about 10 minutes shy of 2 hours. Big Brother, if we're going to watch it live, starts in 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably about time that I kill this anyways. So.
Yeah. So, we are. Did your work? Did your work plan to make you work on Sundays? Did that ever?
That has not changed yet. We have not heard anything. They've been talking about it, but nothing has officially happened one way or the other. So currently, what we have is on Friday nights they have us coming in at midnight instead of 10:30. And the reason they're planning on doing these changes is because it's 5 sections of the paper that we make on Fridays. Hold on, just a second here. This is the paper that we make on Fridays. Okay, midnight. Loves you. Wife's going to bed.
He'll be in bed in just a minute.
She's waving. She's saying bye-bye. Yes, I will make coffee. Love you too, hon. Midnight. Anyway, this is the one that we make on Friday, and it's like, what? Okay. It's really thick, and there's actually 5. They call them SIGs. There's 5 sections, then they get stacked on, and then they cut off the ends, and you have like this big book. The other guys who make the SIGs themselves don't have it ready by the time that we get there. So we had to stand around for 2 hours and wait for it. So now they have it starting, have us coming in at midnight. They're done, and we can start working as soon as we get there. So other than that, we haven't heard anything. So, but I will talk to you next week unless I hear different.
All right.
Okay.
Next week it is. And unlike normal, Bob, I'll just cut the feed, and when the feed's off, we'll go. So we'll see you next week.
Sounds good, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.